In the dawn of the 20th century, tensions simmered across Europe. The continent, a patchwork of empires and emerging nations, danced on the edge of a knife. A complex web of alliances, rivalries, and an arms race set the stage for a conflict of unprecedented scale. This was the world on the brink of the Great War, a war that would come to be known as World War I. The spark that ignited this powder keg was the assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria-Hungary on June 28, 1914. A young Serbian nationalist, Gavrilo Princip, fired the shots that reverberated around the world. Austria-Hungary, eager to assert its power, delivered an ultimatum to Serbia. When Serbia didn't comply fully, Austria-Hungary declared war. From there, it was a domino effect. Russia, bound by a treaty, mobilized to defend Serbia. Germany, allied to Austria-Hungary, declared war on Russia. France, allied with Russia, found itself at war with Germany and, by extension, Austria-Hungary. When Germany invaded neutral Belgium to outflank the French army, Britain declared war on Germany. By August of 1914, the major powers of Europe were at war. The Western Front, a 400-mile stretch of land from the Swiss border to the North Sea, became a grinding, brutal stalemate. Armies dug in, creating a network of trenches that would become iconic of this war. On the Eastern Front, the war was more fluid but no less deadly, with Germany and Austria-Hungary battling Russia. In April 1917, the United States entered the fray. Initially neutral, the sinking of American merchant ships by German submarines and the revelation of a German plot to ally with Mexico against the US led President Woodrow Wilson to ask Congress for a declaration of war. Meanwhile, the tide was turning on the Eastern Front. The Russian Revolution in November 1917 led to the withdrawal of Russia from the war. This freed up German forces to concentrate on the Western Front. However, the arrival of American troops and resources bolstered the Allies. The tide of war began to turn. The Central Powers, exhausted and stretched thin, were pushed back. By November 11, 1918, the war was over. The armistice, signed in a railway carriage in Compiègne, France, marked the end of the fighting. In the aftermath, the world was forever changed. Empires crumbled, new nations emerged. The map of Europe was redrawn. The cost in human life was staggering, with an estimated 9 million soldiers and 7 million civilians dead. The war also set the stage for the rise of totalitarian regimes and another, even more devastating conflict, World War II. In the span of 7 minutes, we've journeyed through the complex and bloody landscape of World War I. We've witnessed the assassination that sparked a global conflict, traced the entangled alliances and rivalries, and followed the ebb and flow of the war on the Western and Eastern fronts. We've seen how the war reshaped the world, setting the stage for a tumultuous 20th century. World War I, the Great War, was a war like no other. It was a war that changed the world, a war that left an indelible mark on history. It was in essence a war that defined a century.